Man, fruit trees look so sad in the middle of winter. All the leaves are gone. They're just hanging out. They look kind of sad that it's winter time. Alright, maybe that's me. Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to our channel. Today we've got kind of an interesting project going on. It's a very quick project, but it's a very essential one here on the homestead in our climate. And I'm talking about fruit trees today, specifically our peach trees. When your other fruit trees lose their leaves and they go into sort of this dormant state during the wintertime, they can handle the cold weather a whole lot better than your peach tree can, at least in our climate where we are. The peach trees, they will not weather a winter nearly as well as some of our other fruit trees will. Growing up, I always remember my dad cursing the fact that we could never grow peach trees where we were, and that was always one of his favorite fruits, and he was just so bummed that we could never seem to get our fruit trees to survive. And it wasn't until much later, actually, until my family and I moved to this house and we started planting our own fruit trees, that we learned something very critical that really helped us with our peach trees in the climate where we're at. I'll never forget where we got our peach trees. The nursery, the guy that ran the nursery out there was actually quite knowledgeable. The first time I talked to him, I was out there, I think, for like an extra hour beyond what I could have been just when I was picking up our fruit trees, just because he was so knowledgeable about the trees that he was planting or that he was selling. He seemed just really passionate about it, and I love that about him. And he made me want to become like a nursery worker, just somebody who worked with trees, like an arborist. That after I left the nursery that day, I think that would have been my dream job. But he gave me a very important tip, one that we've used every single year since. I think this is our 4th year with these peach trees, or this will be our 4th winter. And what he told me in this cold zone that we are in is that peach trees, it's not so much the cold that kills them, it's the extreme temperature shifts. Where we are, once it gets to be a certain time of the year, we can have temperature swings anywhere from 40 to 50 degree swings from midday to the middle of the night. And that kind of swing back and forth day to day, in and out, can be really super stressful on your peach tree. And that's actually what ends up killing the peach trees around here. When fruit trees get ready to go into their dormant state for the winter time, is all of the energy, all of the nutrients and stuff that grow, that support life out on these branches, all those juices, all those nutrients start to work their way back out of the branches, back down into the trunk, into the roots, to support the tree, just to keep it alive through the winter time. That's what most trees do, right? But when you have temperature swings from hot to cold, the warmer parts of the day, those nutrients will get pulled back up the trunk and out into the branches once again. So you've got this thing, if you've got the major temperature swings, you've got the nutrients coming up and going out into the branches, going back down into the roots and back and forth. And that huge shift of nutrients back and forth is what really stresses specifically our peach trees out. And the secret to peach tree longevity is to try to mitigate that severe temperature shift. What we're going to do today, what the nursery worker out there advised me to do, is to wrap your fruit tree. And it's a really simple process. Let me show you how to do it. Here's what you're going to need. It's a really simple thing. You may need 4 things, I think I'm counting here total. A huge stack of newspaper, some aluminum foil, some wrapping tape, and a pair of scissors. What we're gonna do is just wrap this tree around your lowest branch. That's where I like to go up to. And then I just work my way down as far as I can go before I run into the ground. And what we're doing with the boxing tape is just when we get a layer wrapped around, just gonna put a strip on to hold it up like that and continue on down, wrapping the tree They reach the bottom right here. And if you're wondering where you can get newspaper, one thing that we've done in years past, something that we've done is you can find a lot at the post office. What the case is, and oftentimes we've found, is that if you go, it doesn't take too much digging in the trash bins, because most people get the paper, or a lot of people in town get the paper, and whether they want it or not. So, and oftentimes what ends up happening, or they'll get a store ad, and what they don't want, oftentimes, I remember being this way, where the papers that they don't want, they'll just toss in the trash as they're sorting through their mail. They'll just go ahead and toss it in the trash bin, and that newspaper works just great for things like this, and there's no need to throw it in the dumpster immediately, and you can accumulate a lot of newspaper in not too much time, and you've got yourself wrapping for your fruit tree. Now, I've given this what looks like a pretty decent layer, and I might wrap this a little bit more, actually. That's better. Once you've gotten a good layer of newspaper wrapped around your fruit tree, that gives it a nice little bit of insulation. Now we're going to take our aluminum foil and give a nice wrap around everything until we've covered all of that newspaper with a shiny coat of aluminum. Rachel was telling me when I very first came out here that it would be difficult to do this with, especially without the cutter part of our boxing tape that's missing. She said it'd be difficult to do this just one person, one-handed. And I'm kind of an obstinate person. If somebody says that something is difficult or that it can't be done, I take that as a challenge. So I'm doing this one-handed, a lot of it, just to prove a point that it can be done. Okay, now we've got our tree all wrapped. We've got the newspaper on there. We've got a decent, solid layer of aluminum foil on there. Now all that's left to do is to put one final wrapping of boxing tape all the way around the tree, just to give it a nice sort of solid binding layer to sort of tie it all together and make sure none of the newspaper or the aluminum foil goes anywhere. Now, as far as timing goes, one other helpful tip that the guy out at the nursery gave me was, he told me, I'll never forget, he says, you want to remember that you are thankful for your peach tree. So once you get to Thanksgiving Day, that's when you want to wrap your tree. We're a little bit past Thanksgiving, but I said that too loudly. We're a little bit past Thanksgiving. Don't tell the peach tree. And that's really all there is to it. If you live in a cold zone or some place where you get extreme lows in the wintertime, and you want to help your peach tree survive and see some fruit out of it the next harvest season, go ahead and wrap it with those layers of newspaper and some aluminum foil, and you should be golden. Hopefully a helpful tip to help your fruit trees make it a little bit more comfortably through the winter, and maybe bury some fruit a little bit more efficiently for the next season. Thanks for joining me for that quick video. Hopefully you found it helpful. If you did, I'd sure appreciate a thumbs up. Let me know if you found this educational, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below if you're not subscribed to our channel already. Thank you guys so much again for watching. I really love making videos and interacting with you guys. That's one of the things that makes our day. We're gonna call that for this video. I hope you are giving your peach trees some good TLC this year. We'll see you again in the next video. Take it easy. Looks like these trees could use another pruning, actually. They're already looking kind of gangly and out of control. That should be okay, I think. All the energy has been drawn back down into the root. I don't think it should hurt these things too much if we clip some of the dead ends off. Yeah, I need to do that sometime too. Why are you guys crying at me? Oh. I got a couple. There you go.